Hey guys, Haley here, and today I'm finally filming my Q&A video. So thank you guys so much for putting a bunch of questions on my last haul video. Really grateful for all your lovely comments as well. And yeah, without further ado, let's answer some Q's. I've got my green tea here, so I'm fully hydrated. So the first question, which I got quite a lot of, is how did I get into anime? So I grew up in Hong Kong, and anime is actually a little bit more popular there than it is in the West. So I grew up watching Cantonese dubbed of animes like Sailor Moon, Tokyo Meow Meow, Doraemon, Hamtaro, Pokemon. So I've kind of always been into it, and character goods like Rilakkuma and any Sanrio stuff is also quite popular there as well, so I fell in love with those bastards from a very early age. And then when I moved to Australia and started high school here, a lot of my friends started watching anime again, so I got back into it. So this was when I would be watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Sword Art Online was huge, Angel Beats, Mirai Nikki, like that era, and I also started cosplaying then as well. And yeah, ever since then I've been pretty into anime, some years more into than others. Currently I am more into than not, obviously. Next question, do you have a favorite anime? What are your top 10? This is a very difficult question. I don't really have like a well-defined top 10. I guess Attack on Titan, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, definitely. Steins Gate, I loved Madoka Magica. Fate Unlimited Blade Works, Code Geass, Yudu Camp, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Really like Kakegurui, just for the aesthetic. Is that 10? Psycho Pass as well, I really like Psycho Pass. I feel like that's 10, so not a very scientifically conclusive top 10 list, but if I had to say 10, like there was approximately 10 animes. Next couple of questions is what is my favorite anime manga genre, and then also what is my least favorite anime manga genre. I guess to watch it would be like shonen or seinen, just kind of actiony scenes, stuff that lends itself very well to a visual format. And my least favorite anime genre is probably kind of shoujo romance-y. Not that I don't like it, I just tend to read more of these stories manga because I have less patience. Like, I can read manga a lot faster than watching anime, so when it's like a slow burn romance, I just want to... As for manga, my favorite genre is definitely like dark psychological and horror. I love series like Monster, Goodnight Punpun, which is, I guess, very emotional. And I also really like shitty death game mangas where it's like a bunch of people and there's a really dark and messed up scenario action. And I don't really have a least favorite manga genre. I'd say I'm pretty open to trying any genre when it comes to manga. Next question is, how did you get into figure collecting? So I remember always wanting to buy anime figures. Back in high school, I'd go on Army a lot, but I could never afford to buy anything. And then I went back to Hong Kong for a holiday, and there are a few legit anime stores there. So my mum bought me like my first 3 to 4 prize figures, and they were Madoka Magica prize figures, and I loved them. And ever since then, I've kind of bought them here and there. Really, it's my trips to Japan that like fully ignited my passion for collecting, because over there I obviously bought a lot more figures home with me, and then I just became addicted. Next question is, what figures are you hoping to see made in the future? I really want a First Ascension Artoria caster figure. I love her design so much. I think she's so cute. But I actually think they're making one, or I think there's one announced, fingers crossed. I'd also love to see a Rin kimono figure. I think that's something everyone would like to see. Some Psycho Pass figures. I really like Psycho Pass, but I'm not in love with the like limited amount of figures that all exist already. And a good Riza Hawkeye figure. I love her so much. She deserves better. Next question is, do you like posable action figures like Figma and SH Figure Arts? I actually used to love Figmas when I first started collecting, and I was obsessed with the Blackrock Shooter Figma line. I just thought, oh, they're the coolest girls I've ever seen, and I've actually got 3 of them, and they're still in my collection today. But my love for them, for Figmas especially, kind of died out just because I realized I wish they were bigger. Like, the Figmas are a little too small, and so I started to collect scales from then on. Next question, and I get this one a lot. It is, how do I afford to buy so many figures? So the gist of it is that I basically work full-time as a programmer. Back in high school and even during uni, I just had less income, and I definitely could not afford to buy as much as I do now. In addition, I was very lucky that the pandemic did not affect my job. I was still able to work from home throughout. Next question is, do you have your own apartment or do you still live with your parents? So at the moment, I do live with my mum and I do pay her rent, but I do have plans later this year to move out into my own place, which will hopefully give me more space for my collection than I do now. Also, do you own pets? Yes, I have a dog. He is a border collie. I love him. He's very old now, but I love him so much. He's really like my best friend. Next question, do you watch any other anime figure YouTubers? Yes, I love watching other figure YouTubers. It definitely makes me spend a lot more money than I set out to. I love watching Anime, Gwen Collects, Anime Pliz, Ken, Squishy Bubble Tea, Leah's Figures, The Ando Experience, and Joan of Arc, which is such a good YouTube name. Next question is, what are some of my hobbies outside of YouTube and anime? I like to play a lot of games, so mainly on the PC. Some of my favorite games are Fallout New Vegas, Bioshock, XCOM, Beat Saber. I love Beat Saber. Currently I'm playing a lot of Valheim, which I'm really enjoying, and a bit of Factorio as well. I also like to read a lot, so mainly fantasy novels or comic books and graphic novels. I really like the Mistborn series and the Kingkiller Chronicles, and I'm currently reading Why We Sleep, which turns me into this annoying person that keeps telling people sleep facts. I also like to do journaling, so bullet journaling or snail mail. I like to collect a lot of fountain pens and sticker sets and letter sets and etc. So I also like D&D and board games. I love playing in my current D&D campaign. I almost always play a glass cannon spellcaster. And for board games, I really like Pandemic Legacy, Scythe, and Wingspan for the amazing art. And I love games where you have to be like deceptive and lie, like Deception, Something Murder in Hong Kong, and The Resistance as well. I love playing those with friends. I also recently got into mechanical keyboards, and if you follow me on Twitter, you might have seen some pictures about this. And spoilers, that might be what my next video is about. And another hobby I have is I love playing this Japanese arcade game called My DX. So I try to, once a week, go to the arcade to play this and practice it until I'm like god tier. Next question is, what aspect of programming do you do? Front end, back end, what language? So I am a full stack developer. I mainly use Java, a bit of Python, and do a bit of JavaScript. That would mainly be TypeScript with React. One of the other responsibilities I have for my job is I have to go on call. So basically for 1 week, if there's any issues with our services, if it goes down or if it's slow or something, we basically get paged and we have to answer this 24 hours a day. And of course, just my luck, it's usually when I'm sleeping. Next question is, what inspired me to start a YouTube channel for figures? So I've always had a desire to start a YouTube channel. I almost started one a few years ago, but kind of more kawaii fashion and lifestyle, because that was very much what I was into back then. But I was just too nervous and I never really took the plunge. So as my taste changed and I got more into anime figures, there was really 2 YouTube channels that really inspired me to start my own, and that would be Anime and Jack Rippon. And both of these creators, I loved watching their content and I loved that they were so relatable. Like, I was super looking forward to just finding out what new figures they bought, and they really made me feel like joining in on the conversation and that I could just whip out a camera and do it too. And I felt really motivated and inspired after binging both of their videos. So yeah, here I am. Next question is, has there been figures where the price was way too high to justify purchasing? Yeah. If this is like secondhand figures, then this is like a lot of the time I find the price is too high to justify. As for new figures, like there have been a few figures that I really want that I just thought were too expensive. The first one that comes to mind is Fat Company's Musashi figure, which I don't quite remember what it retailed for, but at the time I thought, that's too much, even though I really want it. Next up, I have about 10 questions from Lucy, so I'm gonna try and rapid fire through these. First one, what is my most wished figure back when I couldn't afford scales? This would have to be the 1/8 Madoka by Good Smart Company, and also the Ultimate Madoka by Good Smart Company. Yeah, I used to be really into Madoka. Second question, what is my most wished for figure currently? They're both Ulta figures. It is the Jean Ulta by Ulta and the Chitoge by Ulta. Someone from my work actually has the Jean Ulta figure, and I just can't believe it. I feel like stealing it from him one day. Next, do you display figures in any other rooms than your study? Not really. I try not to let my figures bleed out into the communal family area, so I try to keep them all in my study, yeah. Next question, is your SO also into collecting? Kinda, yeah. He has a few figures of his own, like 5 to 6. 95% of the figures in this house are mine though. Next question, do you share your hobby with friends? My friends are pretty into anime, but none of them collect figures, so I can't really share the hobby with anyone in person, so I am very grateful for any online communities that I can go on about this stuff with. Another question, how do you afford collecting? Do you have many things that you've had to give up? I kind of already answered this, but with regards to giving up things, I definitely don't buy a lot of other things. I don't buy as much clothes as I used to, or as much makeup as I used to. Next question is, how do you find cool artist prints? I mainly find artists I buy from Instagram. Whenever I see an artist I like, I always click the show like related accounts. I think that's a really quick way to find other artists with similar styles. And I follow them all and always check out their store if they have one. Do you have a favorite food? My favorite food is stir-fried noodles with vegetable. Like if it's the crispy egg noodles, it's like chow mein. I love it. Next question, what do you think of figures with food or sweets in their design? I love them. I think that's a very cute trend, especially if they're in like a little dessert bowl. Very cute. Is there an anime series you'd like to get into? Yes, JoJo. I know nothing about JoJo. I don't know whether to start with the manga or the anime. So if anyone has any, sage advice, let me know in the comments. What do I mainly journal about? I used to do a lot of bullet journaling, which I guess is kind of more planning, but now I do a lot of reflective journaling. So I like to assign scores for my day to track my mood. I just write down kind of my thoughts from the day, and also a gratitude journal, which I love doing. Yeah. How did you come up with the name Daijoububu? I don't really know. I guess I just liked the saying, oh, everything's gonna be Daijoubu, even though it's kind of cringe and weeby. If it wasn't Daijoububu, it'd be something like Ramune related. Not even that I particularly like Ramune, I've just always been appealed to the word. Alright, so those are all of the Q's. I hope you enjoyed the A's. Thank you guys so much as well for 7,000 subscribers. I recently hit that milestone. I'm so blown away by everyone's support and how nice and lovely everyone is in the comments. Thank you guys so much. I really enjoy making these videos and interacting with you guys. Yeah, just quickly, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Christian and Katarina, who were so kind to reach out to me and ask if they could send me this adorably cute Rillakkuma plushie because they heard me mention that I kind of wish I bought this one. I just thought it was so kind and thoughtful of you guys, and thank you guys so much. Alright, that's everything I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!